Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope your January is getting off to a really good start. Today I'm going to show you how I food prep. This is a video that I talked about last week. I've gotten a few comments about wanting to see what I do. As a family of 6, we have a lot of food that goes in and out of this house. So today I'm going to give you 6 recipes to make your life a little bit easier on this journey if you are going plant-based in January of 2020. For this week's meal prep, I'll be giving you 6 delicious recipes, 2 breakfast, 2 lunch, and 2 dinner ideas. We're making overnight oats and banana muffins for breakfast, a sushi bowl and taco salad for lunch, and for dinner we're making chili and black bean burgers. So let's get started. If you're using dry beans instead of canned, then you'll need to soak the beans the night before you start your meal prep. Hannah's helping me here. Into one pot, she is adding 1 cup of dry black beans. This will be used for one of our salad bowls and also our black bean burgers for dinner. To the second pot, Hannah is adding 1 cup each of pinto beans, chickpeas, and black beans. Both of these pots you want to cover with water and let them sit overnight. If you're using canned beans, then you can skip this step altogether. Moving on to our first breakfast recipe, we're making overnight oats. So to a jar, add a half a cup of oats, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a cup of frozen blueberries or any other kind of fruit of your choice, and 3/4 cup of plant-based milk. We're using coconut milk here, but you can use whatever you like. You can also add an optional half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Give this a quick stir and place it in the refrigerator overnight. You can make several jars at a time and have them throughout the week. And in the morning you can pull the jar out and eat it cold, or if you have time, I like to warm mine in the microwave for about a minute and then top it with some peanut butter, pumpkin seeds, and also a drizzle of maple syrup if you just like it a little bit sweeter. The beauty of this recipe is that there are no limits, so you can use any combination of fruits that you like, nut butter, spices, and plant-based milk to make endless combinations. Your taste buds will never get bored with this recipe, so just experiment and have fun. Our next breakfast recipe is banana muffins, and this is one of our favorite. So to a large bowl, add 1½ cups of whole wheat flour, 1/4 cup of coconut sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and also 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix this together, and then we're going to set this bowl aside to make our banana mixture. To a medium-sized bowl, we're going to peel and add 4 to 5 large bananas. So when this is mashed, it should make about 2 cups of mashed bananas. The bananas need to be really ripe, but not overly ripe because you don't want it to get too mushy and the banana taste too strong in this. So mash the bananas with a fork until there are no large chunks left, and then we're going to add a half a cup of melted coconut oil. And I always melt mine in the microwave, especially in the winter time when it gets really solid. And then also 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Mix this together, and then we're going to add this to the flour mixture that we prepared before. And then stir everything until it's all well combined. Line your muffin tin with baking cups, and I'm going to leave the link to the one that I use down below. They're from the brand called If You Care, and they're compostable, so we really like using these at home and just tossing them in our compost bucket. And then fill the cups with the muffin batter. I like to use my cookie scoop to make this a little bit quicker and also less messy. And then you're going to bake these at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes, just until the tops are brown. When the muffins are cool, just place them in an airtight container and store them in the refrigerator for the week. This is one of our absolute favorite recipes, and I've been making it for a few years. So do yourself a favor and make a double batch for the week. These never last long in our household. As you can see, we're kind of digging into them now. Also, if you're gluten-free, a substitution that you can make is for the whole wheat flour, use brown rice flour instead. This works really well in this recipe, and it's really hard to tell that it's actually gluten-free. Moving on to lunch prep. If you're like me, I really have trouble finding good recipes to do for lunch, good ideas to do for lunch, so these are two simple ones that I keep going back to. First, we're going to finish cooking the beans that we had soaked overnight. So drain and rinse those soaked beans and add them to your Instant Pot along with a little salt and enough water to cover them. You can also cook these on the stove, but it does take a lot longer, so make sure you plan ahead for that one. Once you've cooked both pots of beans, we're also going to cook rice for our lunch recipes. To the Instant Pot, I added 2 cups of basmati rice, a little salt, and 2 1/4 cups of water. Give this a quick stir, cover, and cook for 4 minutes on the pressure cook setting, and then we're going to set this aside for later. For lunch, we're making 2 different salads. And I have a hard time enjoying salads during the winter, but these both contain a warm element that leaves me feeling more full and satisfied than normal salads. So we're going to start with a large salad base, and you can get creative with this because anything goes. Wash and chop all of your vegetables. I'm using romaine lettuce, green onions, carrots, radishes, and these are just a few of the vegetables that I had on hand. So whatever you use, just make sure it's something that you enjoy eating throughout the week. Put all of this together and you're going to toss it in a large bowl. You can put this aside in the refrigerator, or you can go ahead and prep your 2 salads that we're going to make now. The first salad we're making is a sushi bowl. I'm going to start by peeling and chopping my toppings. You can add any kind of your favorite sushi ingredients, but today I'm using mango, cucumber, and avocado. I'm also adding pickled ginger because this is one of my favorite things about ordering sushi at a restaurant. So I love including it in my sushi bowls as well. You can typically find this in the Asian section at your local grocery store. To assemble your bowl, start with your salad base and make sure you're generous here. Volume is really important when switching to a plant-based diet, so make sure you go big or go home. It will help you stay full and satisfied throughout the day. Add your prepared rice. This is the warm element I mentioned earlier that makes salads more satisfying, especially in the wintertime. Then add the rest of your chopped toppings. For a dressing, we're keeping it super simple with a little low-sodium soy sauce and rice vinegar. I usually just finish with a sprinkle of black sesame seeds, sriracha on top for some added spice, and some cilantro for a little bit of garnish. And that's our finished salad. This is really easy to make ahead or pack for lunches, but I would suggest keeping the rice separate so that you can reheat it if you like it warm. For the next lunch, we're making a taco salad. So we're just going to begin the same way we did before with a large portion of our base salad. Add your warm black beans and rice that was prepared ahead of time, and then just add your favorite toppings. I'm adding salsa, avocado, fresh jalapenos, lime juice, and cilantro. Just another easy lunch to pack and go with you to work or school. Moving on to dinner, our first recipe is chili, and I love making chili in the winter because you can pack a lot of vegetables in it to make it really hearty and satisfying. So we're going to start by washing and chopping all of our vegetables. For this recipe, I'm using 1 onion, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 yellow squash, and 1 zucchini, all chopped finely. You can cook this on the stove, or I'm just using the saute function on my Instant Pot. Add a little water to the bottom of the pot, and when it's hot, add the chopped onion. And just cook that for a few minutes until the onion starts to brown a little, and then add the minced garlic. Cook for another minute, and then we're going to add the squash and zucchini to the pot. The trick with adding lots of vegetables to your chili is browning them a little before you add the other ingredients. I've used other vegetables as well, like beets or turnips or whatever I had on hand, and it all tastes amazing as long as you brown them first. Once your veggies are brown, add 1½ cups of frozen or canned corn and 30 ounces of diced or crushed tomatoes. stir all of this together and then we're going to add the seasoning. I'm using 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, 1 tablespoon of mustard, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 4 tablespoons of chili powder. Next, I'm going to add 4½ cups of the prepared bean mix and then give this all a stir in the Instant Pot. Let this simmer for 30 minutes, or you can also use the pressure cook function on the Instant Pot and just cook it for 8 minutes. To serve, I'm topping my bowl with avocado, cilantro, and jalapenos, and you can also add a few tortilla chips to the side if you'd like to. You can also use this recipe and make it like the traditional chili, and a lot of people serve this with crackers instead, so you can do that too. This recipe is definitely a family favorite, and I love how many vegetables I can pack in without my kids complaining or maybe even noticing, so that's totally a win in my book. For our last recipe, I'm making a very simple black bean burger. I'm going to start by pulsing 2 2/3 cups of oats in my food processor until they're partially chopped, and then transfer this to a large mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to add 3 cups or 2 cans of drained black beans to the food processor, and make sure you reserve some of the liquid in case you need it later. Blend this until smooth, and then we're going to add 1½ cups of salsa, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and 1½ teaspoons of garlic powder, and blend this until it's smooth. If the mixture is too dry, then just add some of the reserved liquid from the beans, and then mix this together with the oats. Also stir in 1 cup of frozen or canned corn. You can do any kind of vegetables in this if you want to. You can get creative, onions or garlic or any other kind of vegetables that you want. Mix everything really well and place it in the refrigerator for 15 minutes. This is going to help the mixture to firm up and stick together. On a lined baking sheet, spoon out the mixture into about 12 patties, and I use my cookie scoop again to help with this process. Just makes it a lot less messy. Bake these at 375 for about 20 to 30 minutes, making sure that you flip them halfway through. The burgers should be a little bit crispy on the outside and stick together, but make sure you don't overcook them because they will be a little bit too dry if you do. To assemble my burgers, I used a whole wheat bun, Dijon mustard, lettuce, tomato, pickles, avocados, onions, jalapenos, and ketchup. I put everything on these and it makes them taste so good. I've tried so many different black bean burger recipes over the years, and I love this recipe because it is simple and the taste and texture are really good too. I hope you enjoy these as much as we do. You can also make a larger batch and freeze some to have for later. Sometimes I actually put these on top of salads, and that makes for a really tasty and warm salad as well. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you got some really good ideas on how to make it through a week as a vegan in January. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well because I have some videos coming out in the next few weeks. Next week, I've already got it started. This is going to be a food haul and how I plan my menu for the week. So until next week, happy eating and Happy New Year.